Reaching the point where you can sell your business is no small feat. We often talk about how many businesses never get past 5 years or even 10 years. Even so, the prospects of being able to actually sell your business and that be the watershed event in the history of the company, it's very difficult to achieve. In order to get that significant outcome and actually be pleased with your buyer and also what you experience post-close, you have really got to do your homework. There is no easy way to find a buyer. There is no easy way to decide who the right buyer is for your business. Perhaps of all the decisions you've made in your business, this is perhaps the most important one, literally. Now, I have some thoughts as to how you can improve the odds of having a successful outcome. But first though, I need to ask you a question. What do you think about private equity? As you think about a potential exit, is private equity part of your evaluation process? Hi, I'm Nick McLean with 4 Pillars. I've been in the M&A and private equity space for almost 20 years. And of course I am biased when I say that I think private equity is a good exit option for many business owners. However, I will also add that no two private equity buyers are the same. Much like in selecting a vendor, selecting a business partner, there is a lot of information sharing. There's a lot of relationship building that must take place in order for you to feel confident about your decision. This video is part of my series, How to Sell Your Business to Private Equity. You can check out my channel for the other videos in this series, as well as the entire book, which is on Kindle. Now let's jump into the next section of this series, which is thinking about whether or not PE is a suitable option for you as you think about selling your business. There are a number of reasons why you should seek out a PE buyer. On the other hand, a PE buyer might be your only option. Regardless of which camp you fall into, selling to PE might not be so bad. Here's why. PE gets deals done. The folks at PE firms don't last long if they don't close deals. They actually have the job requirement of deploying capital. Strategics also have capital, but my experience with strategic buyers, both inside a buyer and advising a seller, is that strategies change. What might be important today could be forgotten tomorrow. They will tell you that won't happen, but it is a hard to quantify risk that must be taken into account. I've had 2 jobs in corporate development, which is another name for internal M&A. In the first job, I was hired to help drive the M&A strategy. 6 months later, M&A was no longer a priority. At another job, it was 8 months until I got that same message. The point here is that strategies change quickly. While there might be a strategic acquirer interested in your business today, that might change quickly through no fault of your own. Some folks don't care if their company gets swallowed up by a larger company. Some do. Perhaps all people care, they just assign a different value to it. In addition to keeping the name and identity intact, another nice aspect of being a platform investment is that your company will be leading the charge. If you have any deferred consideration, to be described in detail later, that should matter a great deal. One commonality amongst almost all PE buyers is the desire for growth. Now that desire might be stronger or weaker in some, or take different forms, but the desire for growth will be there. What is nice is that now you won't be carrying all of the risk or footing the bill. Perhaps when you started out in business, you would have pursued all sorts of different growth channels, guns a-blazing. But that type of gunslinger mindset is better suited to folks earlier in their careers, at least in my opinion. As you approach retirement age, it is fully expected that your focus shifts from growth to preservation of capital. PE will analyze growth channels and slice and dice the numbers 6 ways to Sunday. Its risk profile will be greater than someone approaching retirement, but also probably less than a young buck. That makes sense to me. Need a new machine? If the numbers justify it, there won't be any concern about where the money comes from to buy it. Working with PE often comes with some non-financial benefits as well. Depending on the firm you work with and what its long-term goals are for your business, you might be able to tap into some other types of upside in the deal. Operational optimization and technology access. Gain access to technologies and best practices that might be new to you or your firm. PE groups often invest in tools and systems that streamline processes, boost efficiency, and drive performance. By the way, we made a full video on process improvement, which you can check out in the description below. Talent acquisition and development. Attract and retain top talent with the combined strength of your brand and the PE firm's resources. This builds a robust team equipped to execute on your ambitious plans. Many founders also find that partnering with PE makes working life at the top a little less lonely. I know from experience that being a CEO sometimes leaves you with no one to really talk to. You can't talk to your wife because she isn't in the business and doesn't know the various factors you're facing. You can't talk to your friends because they have their own jobs to focus on. And you definitely can't talk to your employees. But with a PE partner, now you have a sounding board, both literally and figuratively. But PE isn't for everyone. I made a video on the 5 reasons why you should not sell to private equity. You can check that out in the description below. PE can seem shrouded in mystery, especially when it comes to middle market deals. This often leads to misconceptions and anxieties that discourage entrepreneurs from exploring this potentially beneficial exit option. Let's shed some light on the landscape and debunk some common myths to ensure that you make informed decisions about your future. Myth number 1, all PE firms are the same. Reality, the PE landscape is diverse, and middle market and lower middle market deals often involve firms or even family offices with distinct approaches and expertise. Don't let a bad experience with one firm or generalized perceptions cloud your judgment. Conduct thorough due diligence of your own. Research their track record and prioritize finding a partner whose values and vision align with yours, regardless of their size. If you have watched some of my other videos, you might have heard me stress how important it is to get to know potential buyers, months or even years in advance. Myth number 2, quick returns equal shortcuts. Reality, while most PE firms don't hold their investments for more than 5 to 7 years, that length of holding period does not come at the expense of company health, at least not for all PE firms. Some firms focus on increasing the strength and resilience of the company. Some firms focus on creating the best experience for all stakeholders in a quest to add real value. I have seen firsthand the damage PE can do, but there are of course some bad apples and also just failed strategies. Further support for getting to know your buyer in advance of a sale. Myth number 3, selling to PE means losing control. Reality, the degree of control you retain depends on the deal structure you negotiate. Assuming a change of control transaction, then of course you would no longer have board-level control. But is it important to the PE firm that you stick around? Will you be CEO post-close? What many sellers don't realize is that you are an important piece of the puzzle post-close. You have more power than simply the number of votes you have on the board. The CEOs of our portfolio companies have a great deal of autonomy and decision-making authority. 1. An exit doesn't have to mean the end. PE is an ideal option for sellers who want to continue growing their business. 2. Deal structures can vary, depending on the goals of both the buyer and the seller. I hope you enjoyed this segment on how to sell your business to private equity. Now, I know in a short video like this, your perceptions will not be totally changed. However, I hope that you at least have a little bit more info and are perhaps opening the door a little bit to think about whether or not you should let PE in, so to speak, and have that be an option that you consider when selling your business. Now, as I mentioned, no 2 PE buyers are the same, and I encourage you to get to know the buyer universe out there. In order to do that, how about you click a link below and set up some time to talk with me, and I won't be able to tell you what all buyers are like, but at the very least, I'd be able to tell you what this buyer would be like. Again, would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.